We have over 700,000 families in the state of Alabama whose children qualify for school lunch who will not have food this summer. So I'm asking the city council and the government, what do we do about this? I don't want to live in a city where I know this is happening. It's our responsibility, and if the state can't do it, then we have to feed our own. Please, I would get on my knees, but it would take me 3 more minutes to get up. So I'm not going to do that. I'm begging you, please take this up as a city issue. We need to feed these children. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, one more thing. I have copies of these questions if anybody else wants to see them. I'll be outside the door.
Mr. Penn.
Thank you, Mr. President, and Ms. Simon, thank you so much for coming down and sharing your concerns. For me, I have some of these same questions, and I think it's vital. I have said it publicly that we have to look into these matters, and that's what I would like to do. I can't speak for everyone, but I can speak for myself. Also, thank you for reminding the public about the issues that took place with the state refusing to pay. I actually sent a letter to the governor stating my disappointment in that decision, and I think we as a community and as a city has to come together and understand that that information provided needs for our young people. There's so many people that need food. I know because I'm a part of a grocery giveaway in my community, and we give away all the food in less than an hour. So we know it's a need still there. And as a community, as a city, we have to figure out. So thank you so much for coming down, and I support what you stated.
Mr. President?
Madam Vice President.
Yeah, just briefly, just want to remind everyone that Shonda Smith with our Public Services Department and also Parks and Rec have been working on a summer program now to help fill the gap with the feeding program, because we were made aware, I don't know, weeks ago about the state's lack of assistance with this. So the city is working with different groups to provide some food during the summertime. And then also some of our media friends out there, one of the TV stations in particular, has also been collecting food for kids during the summertime. So we know that there are some programs and some help that the city is doing and other people in the community. So thank you for reminding everybody, because it is a big need that needs to be filled.
Hello, I'm Betty McShin, and I stand here before you today to ask the council to be transparent in all decisions, small and large, regarding the affairs of the city of Mobile. There's no daily newspaper, and local TV news has become the go-to place for information regarding affairs of the city of Mobile. The new airport was built without any input or discussions from the city, from the citizens and taxpayers of Mobile. Building an airport and shutting down a practically new homeless shelter, 15 places. These are things that need transparency and input from the community. A democracy is governed by the people for the people. We learn about federal funding from COVID only after pet projects have been funded. This is the definition of an oligarchy, where power is in the hands of the few. The city of Mobile cannot run like a business. The citizens of Mobile are continually blindsided by the decisions made by the administration, and in almost every instance, almost rubber stamped by the council. I don't remember any discussion about the fiscal budget. I believe it passed in record time, 2 weeks after being presented to the council. We learned from the local TV stations that the council has approved the administration's plan to tear down the Civic Center in August and replace it with a $3 billion structure in 2 years. This is a total lack of transparency, but apparently no input from citizens and taxpayers of the city of Mobile. The Lottery Act works for a while, but as I thought about what I was going to say one day, for me, you guys, the people who look like me on this council, I'm a baby boomer. Your experiences are different from mine. Black parks and recreation centers are deplorable. Without the community having a voice in how our tax dollars are spent, we're pushed further back than we were in the days of segregation. Not just blacks, but all citizens of Mobile need to know what's going on as well before those decisions have already been made. We demand an opportunity to participate in decisions about this city that we live in. Knowledge is power. Working together, we are stronger. You need our ideas, our input, our suggestions, our perspective to move forward and make Mobile a better place to live and work and enjoy life. I ask that each of you do the job you wanted bad enough to solicit votes and campaign vigorously to sit where you are today. Too many people refuse to vote because they don't believe their voices matter. Be transparent. Listen to us. Respect us while making decisions that affect us, our families, and our projects. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Mr. Penn.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Ms. Sheehan, for coming down. Just want to give the audience to understand in District 1, right now, Mill Street is getting a new playground. Right now, Trinity Garden is getting a whole new field. Vickers Park is being redone. Tricentennial Park is getting a new field. We have, in District 1, I can't speak for anyone else. When I talk, I'm speaking for my office. We have invested millions of dollars in District 1. Matter of fact, Highway 45, that which people in this audience have fought for to get funds, we are putting $3 million. I think Tim Hollis, Councilman Fred Richardson, and other people for fighting for Highway 45, but now we have the funds to be able to accomplish those things. Things are happening in District 1, and I'm going to continue to fight for my community. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President. Mr. Carroll.
Thank you, Mr. President. As I've said many times, 80% of the parks are in District 2. And right now in District 2, Harmon Park's about to get new dugouts for their fields. Duval Street's mound is being corrected. Texas Street just went under a $1.1 million renovations. New fields, new bathrooms, new courts, new everything. Air conditioner systems have been put in our parks. Sullivan Center was corrected. New scoreboard at Sullivan Center, $45,000. A new park at Catherine and Congress Street is about to have a new name on it. Lafayette Heights and the Welding Center, welded wedge over the top of it. There's millions of dollars going into our parks in District 2. And matter of fact, the best department in the city is Parks and Recreation. They're unfounded. They've just been accredited nationally. The best department in our city, the ones that give us art walks and the other ideas and the things that add to the quality of life around here. So in District 2, our parks are thriving. We just completed a $6 million renovation to Texas Street. We have more infrastructure projects about to start. We're about to start on MLK, the Tiger Grant extension going down MLK. So there's millions of dollars in improvements to it. We're even about to announce an affordable housing program. So I mean, as far as what we're doing in the city to promote neighborhoods of underserved areas is coming along. We've been weak sometimes, yes, but is it getting better? Yes. Is it going to be extremely better? Yes. Yes. Now, for the idea of transparency, I agree that there needs to be some transparency and some issues. I agree that some things happen that need to have more eyes on. I agree with that. I agree wholeheartedly. And sometimes there have been some decisions that have been made to protect infrastructure and quality that have been emergency items that have gone without question. I agree with some of that too, but in the end, those items should be brought to the public and made transparent so the public needs to be. But as far as our parks in District 2 in this city, in underserved areas, I've got more than any other councilman in this city. And I stand behind my Parks and Recreation Center director, and Kim Kermati, and I stand behind the previous director, Chandra Smith. Thank you, Mr. President.
And also, I would like to just remind the audience too that the airport authority have its own board, and they have monthly meetings. No one on this council or this previous council, had really really putting all their inputs into designing or even moving the airport towards Brooklyn Field. I have several residents that want the airport. So therefore I try to remain neutral, and I have some that have wanted the airport. So therefore, just saying that the council had, inputs on the design and et cetera, the airport has its own board, which is, the members are appointed by the mayor. And also just on last Tuesday, I announced that we were having a big community meeting, and matter of fact, postcards are about to be ready to go out. South DIP, where they've been hollering for years, ever since the Mike Dow administration, about having a community center. So not only that we're going to have a community center, state of art, you know, it's going to be combined with a Boys and Girls Club, a food pantry, community center, and a senior center. Not, you know, including that, you know, Taylor Park, we are doing some upgrades. Matter of fact, the pool is being redone now. Helen Woods, we just acquired that property from the state of Alabama because we was leasing that from the state of Alabama. We just purchased it, but citizens can go somewhere and have a place to fish. And then we also have Brooklyn by the Bay, where the city has been putting a lot of emphasis on. So there's a lot of great things that's going on in the city of Mobile, especially in the Parks and Rec. I advise the citizens to pretty much go on our website and look up under the CIP for each district, and you see exactly what's going on in each district. Madam Clerk, I'm sorry, Mr. Davis.
Yeah, two things. First is the idea that there hasn't been any transparency or public input in the Civic Center project is nonsense. The Civic Center condition has been discussed in this community for 20 years. Can you hear me now? Now? Okay. I just said that the idea that there hasn't been community input or discussion on the Civic Center is nonsense. The Civic Center has been under discussion in this community for 20 years. If a person has not communicated to their councilman or to the administration about what they thought the Civic Center should be, it's their fault. And recently, over the last several years, there have been multiple meetings with interest groups, with the neighborhood, with all kinds of organizations about the Civic Center. And it's not $3 billion, it's $300 million. And then with respect to the CIP programs in District 5, every year in the 3-4 year periods I have served, I had sent out a reply card to every household in District 5 asking for their input for capital projects for the upcoming 4 years. Every single, so I've done it 3 times, seeking input from the public. Thank you, Mr. President.
Madam Clerk.
Timothy Hollis.
Timothy Hollis, doing business as Tim Hollis Consulting today. At the age of 17, I took my oath to the United States Constitution when I entered the United States Air Force, and I said that I would support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So that can sometimes mean those that serve in political office. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, served as Martin Luther King Jr. would say. We talk about transparency here today. These matters that have been before us for the last few weeks, now about 3, they deserve full transparency. We need transparency for the citizens, and we need it in every department of this city. When we talk about ethics, this isn't the first time we have had concerns of ethics. At least we not forget, going back to April of last year, the premature departure of Councilman Scott Jones for ethics concerns, which also leads to the concerns over the abrupt resignations of the Public Safety Director and the Finance Directors. Then we look at Kenny Brown, who is also a board member of Project Thrive, a Mobile Police Department nonprofit organization. How can we trust the integrity of his research? Council investigative powers. We have been calling on this council to use their own investigative powers when ethics concerns were involved with the deal to sell Last Stadium to the school board, all seemingly overnight. We have several instances when we have asked this body to act in such a way. When we talk about our power struggle, the City Council has the authority and responsibility to be united by the supermajority, thanks to Michael Figures, to be the strongest body of government here in this city. That's one of the reasons why the mayor cannot fire the chief of police. The mayor and Chief Barber have been at the helm of chaos in our city due to the entire term of this administration. We can go back, starting with Michael Moore, all the way to Juwan Dallas and those that precede. They have more blood on their hands than most. Countless black men have been killed under their leadership. In conclusion, I am asking that the City Council hires their own independent investigator, one with no relations to any of the 7 council members nor members of the administration. Also, use your investigative powers to take a look into our financial department and public safety department and request that the local courts investigate. The City Council is my request for their position in all of these instances, because your body has also violated codes of ethics and impropriety against law-abiding citizens. Thank you.
Audience, remember our rules state no undue applause.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. Before we begin, please, I can count on one hand the number of times Mr. Joel Daves and myself have completely agreed on the matter in this arena. Does not include the Civic Center. Yet I will argue with anyone that he is the absolute most, let me put it like this, he's the most absolute individual, that's the best way to say it, to ever serve in this capacity. He never abstained or recused from a vote, whether it was tough or not. And how he voted up or down, together or alone, did not waver from the stance he made prior to the vote being taken. These days, that is very rare. So you're an example of how to serve those who directly put you here. And I wish you well in your next endeavor. That being said, to the citizens and stakeholders of Mobile, greetings. Reggie Hill is my name. To investigate or not to investigate. To terminate or not to terminate. Those are the questions. Arise today to fact check this abundance of alternative confusion looming over the city of Mobile momentarily. Much like with the Juwan Dallas case, why would we seek outside influence or interference from the DA or now the DOJ or Ethics Commission when we have our own circuit court right here? When you have investigatory powers, what is the point of hiring a council attorney only to resort to opinions of outside counsel, whether the city attorney or someone living far away? Referencing your request to Chief Prine from this morning, why all of a sudden is saving taxpayer money so important when you intended to spend upwards of $4 million on a city?
Stop the clock. I'm gonna ask the audience one more time. Please, no undue applause whatsoever. That's our council rule. I had stated that in the beginning. Start back the clock. Sorry about that, Mr. Hill.
Referencing your request to Chief Prine this morning, why all of a sudden saving taxpayer money so important when you intend to spend upwards of $400 million on the Civic Center that doesn't include a theater? Just weeks ago, you spent $200,000 on some dishes, and let's not even start on $20,000 for some home pies earlier this year. Mr. Stimpson suggests, based on his own internal investigation, that there was no wrongdoing as alleged by Chief Prine. This is hard for me personally to believe, because in 2021, by unanimous votes of this council, Success for the Future was approved for $1,000. Not one copper penny of that has been released yet. Yet we paid Mr. Brown $1,000 an hour for an inside report. Knowing of such open, reckless, and openly unjust behavior, how in the world do you expect us to justify firing a high-ranking department head based on what Mr. Stimpson has gathered? Again, he hasn't paid for something that was approved in the open, in the public, but we should trust his analysis on what he did in private. So please make that make sense to me. Unfortunately, the regular rules don't afford for us to have the time that's necessary to go into it, because we haven't gotten into the serious details as well about how this does impact the community, how we aren't involved, how it is that we bring these things to this issue before it gets chaotic, and then you want to make responses because there's so many people now that are tuning in. The stuff that we could have already prevented. So we need to have proactive thinking as we go forward with these issues if we truly want to see the best quality of life in the city of Mobile. And as I close with this, regardless of how you feel about me, that's why I came and spoke about this man. It is nothing personal here. It's the personnel. Thank you, Jill, for
Melissa Gates regarding resolution 03373.
Hi, Melissa Gates, 1280 Rigby Road. How y'all doing? Appreciate y'all for letting me speak. I had no idea I was even going to speak till some fine young ladies over here, beautiful women, said, you need to speak. And I was like, oh, help me, Lord. So, thank you, Rick. I'm not going to get technical. He did. That was well said. But what I am going to say is I am in support of Chief Prine, and I back the blue. I respect them. I pray for them continually. The prayer of a righteous person availeth much. And I'm just going to say scripture. I know I got 3 minutes, but I'm not going to speak 3 minutes. Luke 8:17. Because how I live is by the word of God. For there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be made known or brought into light and into the open. So, y'all might want to check yourself because something just doesn't seem right. We do need transparency. I'm kind of excited when we get the report to actually see really what is going on, but it seems to me, to the average citizen in Mobile, that y'all are attacking Chief Prine. And that's just the way we see it. Just a simple retired dental hygienist that actually didn't take the vaccine, and that's why I no longer do dentistry. But that's just the way a lot of average people in Mobile County look at this. So thank y'all very much.
Sabrina Chapman regarding 6372.03373.
Good afternoon. My name is Renee Chapman, and I'm here to speak in support of Chief Prine. I'm a taxpayer. Expect an investigation to happen. I don't see any reason why Prine has been dismissed. None whatsoever. He's supposed to ask questions. You're supposed to let the chief do his job. Where do we go now? Y'all have lost a lot of trust in the citizens of Mobile. Y'all, sometimes politicians forget who you work for and who pays y'all and who's paying the taxes to get the civic center, to get the playgrounds, to get things that you want. Why wouldn't you want a respectful, honorable chief of police to help you watch over those things and to be in the community? I've seen Chief Prine in the community. Where have y'all been speaking out and being with the people of the public that support you and vote you in? You have a job to do. We want you to do it. We want you to do it fair. We want you to shed the light on some of the darkness that's been going on. And we expect that. That's what you're here for. Thank you.
Latara Banks regarding 6372 and 03373.
Good afternoon. My name is Latara Banks. Let me just start by saying Chief Prine is irreplaceable. You can't replace it. It's no impossible. It's just flat out no impossible. The man came in to do a job, and that is exactly what that man is doing. If something is not right, he is supposed to ask questions, and you all are supposed to provide answers. If you cannot provide answers one way, go another way and get them. But get the answers and make sure the answers that you get are the truth and they are factual. That's just the bottom line to it. I'm not understanding how do we get to this point. I'm lost to all of it as to how do we get to this point. But at the same time, us as taxpayers, we need to start asking questions and we need to start demanding answers. Why? Because our money is involved. Our money is involved. Point blank, bottom line, our money is involved. A closed mouth will never get fed. Open your mouth and say something. And when they open their mouth and say something, a response needs to be made. But when you make that response, stand on it. Meaning, you got the facts to back you up when you respond. When it comes to Chief Prine, I'm going to stand behind him. Ain't no ifs and or buts about it. I'm standing behind him. You know why? Because God assigned that man to do a job. And that man has done a job. You know how he did it? Because he done lit a fire. Somebody scared somewhere. Somebody scared somewhere. Somebody trembling. Somebody shaking somewhere. You have to always remember, whatever God got for you, the devil in here can't stop. Y'all have a good one.
Dory Mayfield regarding 6372 and 03373.
Hi, I'm Dory Mayfield, and not speaking like this, but my heart, I knew I had to stand up for Chief Prine because of the type of person he is. And I wanted to ask you all to please consider having an investigation into the allegations.
Close to the mic.
Okay. I'm asking for an investigation into all the allegations that have been made. You know, all of it. You know, we want it to be fair. All the truth to come out. This is the only way that the public can feel that we have any confidence in our city council. And I also ask that you do not vote out the chief before this investigation has time to play out. And we learn all that needs to be learned so that we can have that restored, that confidence in the city of Mobile, because we all love it. That's why we're here. That's why all of you are here, because y'all love what you're doing. You want to help the city. Or that's what I think. Thank you.
Sabrina Mass regarding resolution 6372 and 03373.
Sabrina Mass. First, there is definitely, the citizens are calling for an investigation. And upon that investigation, we're asking you to get an outside entity that no one is affiliated with. From this seat to that seat. No one needs to be affiliated with who's going to do this investigation. And upon that investigation, the citizens, as myself and others, and everybody here, except for a few, are here to support Chief Prine. We're asking when this investigation starts with this committee, you sit at the table, the administration sits at the table, and let Chief Prine also be at the table to see who you're going to appoint and assign to this assignment.
Yes.
And where are the people that are accusing him of these things? Why are they not sitting here looking at him? Because the accused is up there. The person that has been accused is sitting up there. Where are they? This city is a mess. It's divided. Then you have people that he has helped, that I know he has helped and has turned against him. And it's wrong, and God has the last say so. He definitely has the last say so. See, because there's no fear out here for no human being. No fear. God is the only thing that I fear and anyone should fear. We are asking for an investigation, a thorough investigation, to have him included at the table to decide who comes in for these investigations. And as far as abuse of power, you guys are letting this man be abused. That's wrong. When are people going to seek their hearts? See, I don't have to worry about no foolishness. And I'm going to stand 10 toes, 20 toes down for what I believe, whether somebody with me or against me. I have for 18 years and I'm still standing. And I guess I'm going to be standing 18 more. But what I would not do is walk around in fear. That man is not going to walk around in fear because he's anointed by God. Those that are anointed, we don't have no fear. You can threaten, bully, do whatever you want. Nobody's walking around here in fear. Not the God that I serve. I promise you that. So you best be careful. Best be careful. They're going to be anybody listening up there, over there, in there. I don't care who you are. Y'all better really take heed of what's happening. Because the last time I checked, God can take us out this world when he get ready, and he will do just that if you're not careful. Be careful out here. I'm speaking for myself. I'm speaking for whomever. I believe in God, and he gonna reveal the truth, and the truth will prevail, and justice will prevail. No justice, no peace. I stand with the chief.
That's right.
Amen.
Marcus Young regarding Resolution 6372 and 03373.
Good afternoon. My name is Mark.
Don't start his time. Audience, I'm going to ask again, please remain or refrain from talking. You started time back up. I apologize for that.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Marcus Young. Hey, I stand here before you as a friend. I'm proud to say a friend and supporter of Chief Prine. I'm here to speak on his behalf and also to make a request to the council. First of all, I've known Paul for the predominance of my adult life. We worked together on the MPD. I'm a former Mobile police sergeant for 13 years. We worked at other police departments together as well as other jobs in the city before. So I can speak well of his character. He's an honorable person. He is a truthful person. He's a person who's committed to duty. And I can go on, but I don't think that I need to, because just as it was previously said, in this very chamber, Paul was confirmed as chief by this honorable council. And so with that preface that he has earned the right, as the former speakers or the previous speakers have said, to have an investigation. And this is my request to the council. I appreciate the council members who brought this measure forward to allow us to speak. Both sides, there have been allegations that we all have read about and have seen on TV, and both sides cannot be telling the truth. There is truth there. The only way to get to the truth is an investigation. I believe this honorable council, I believe that the MPD members and the constituents of Mobile deserve the right answers. I believe that for his honorable service as a policeman, for over 27 years of service, also almost injured in the line of duty, I believe his service also dictates and demands an investigation to get to the truth. If I was investigating this, I'm a former IO, Internal Affairs investigator, I would want to know the questions to when was it determined that Chief Prine's allegations or complaint was frivolous? Who made that determination that his complaint was frivolous? If it was determined that he was a poor or a false leader, when was that determined? And if that be a fact, why was he asked to stay on as a consultant if he's a failed leader as a chief? Those would be questions, and many more as the investigation will continue to unfold, need to be answered. And I humbly ask this council to investigate those claims, and let's get it to the truth. I have not lost faith in the council members. I have not lost faith in the city of Mobile. I think we have the best police department in this side of Alabama. I still believe in that they will continue to serve as honorably as they have. So I yield my time for the next speaker, and thank you for listening for me.
Eileen Morgan regarding Resolution 6372 and 03373.
Please at this time, asking everyone, please put your electronic device on silent and watch it, please.
Hi. All right. Do you need my address or anything?
What's your name?
Eileen Corcoran. Members of the council, my name is Eileen Corcoran. I'm actually a former city employee. I came to the city in 2007 under former Mayor Jones as a City Smart investigative analyst. For those of you guys who aren't familiar with City Smart, it was an accountability program applied to all the city departments, from the film office to accounting, from fire to even the police department. We covered everything: personnel, working hours, vacation, comp time accruals, and overtime. The abuses in overtime accruals were unbelievable, especially in the PD. In fact, James Barber, who at the time was still pining to become police chief, made sure City Smart was the first thing to go when Sandy Stimpson was sworn in. But I digress. In 2018, Stimpson was finally able to eliminate my position courtesy of the numerous changes the city attorney has made to the personnel board rules regarding merit system employees. I'd known once Stimpson won re-election the second time that my time at the city was limited. My job had already been threatened for speaking out against the mayor's budgeting decisions while I was at lunch away from the plaza. Then I was kicked out of my Department of Safety and Performance for reporting over $75,000 of missing drive cam equipment and showing some of the cameras were being auctioned off with old garbage trucks. Cameras were checking in other states. The final straw was alerting the council's budget task force in 2018. 4 of you were here. Can I have your attention while I'm talking to you guys? Because
Stop the time. Stop the time.
I mean, I just think
You
it's...
cannot attack. In the council rules, I have stated, no one cannot attack no council member.
I didn't
Yes,
say,
yes. Hold on.
I said to
Hold
you
on.
guys.
Hold up. Cannot attack, that's in our council rules, okay? And also,
I was just asking for a common courtesy, that's all, and I apologize.
and also, and this is for everyone, you cannot call no names out. Didn't want to disrupt you when you were
I won't
calling
do that
names.
anymore, I apologize.
We are listening to you.
Okay,
But again, you have to follow, everyone has to follow the council rules.
okay, I got you.
Audience, start the time back up. And
Thank you, appreciate you. Okay, so, the final straw was alerting the council's budget task force in 2018 to Stimpson's plan to outsource garbage and trash and providing a detailed 9-page account of the issues within Public Works involving several of previous members of Public Works Administration and several of their, I'm not mentioning any names. I figured that, anyway. I may have lost my job, but at least all the good people at Public Works were able to keep theirs. Now to the present issue with Chief Prine, Mayor Stimpson, Chief of Staff. The issue of fear within the department, or them claiming that Chief Prine was ruling through fear, that is not anything new to that department or within any city department. That has been going on since Mayor Stimpson came into office. I've never seen anything like it. There are so many people within the city now that are living in fear of speaking about anything to even their family members because of they're afraid of losing their job.
Thank you.
Well, I'm not finished.
Duration 3 minutes.
3 minutes goes way too fast. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Mr. Pam.
Thanks so much, Mr. President. I want to thank everyone for coming down. Thank you for all your statements. I was paying attention. If you go back and watch the video, I'm looking you dead in the eye. I make sure that I do that. And I agree with you. I always speak to everybody when they come up. That's something that I always do because I want to show respect at all times. I want to thank everybody for coming. One of the things, and I'm glad, that's why I believe we should have some evening meetings for city council. So we can have and hear everybody's perspective, even if sometimes we might not always agree. I think it's very vital so we can understand each other and hear from the community, because sometimes you're working the morning shifts and you can't be here at 10 o'clock. So I'm glad that you're able to be here. It was some statements that was made, and I just kind of want to hear and listen before I make a statement. And again, when I make a statement, I'm talking about Councilman Corey Penn. I can speak to anyone else, so I'm talking about myself. One statement said, "Where are you in the community?" I'm in the community. I'm at every school. I'm with Cash. I'm doing the marches with anybody you can think. They call me, I'm there. I am very active in the community where I can go to any school and your kids, if they live in District 1, they know me. So I'm very engaged, I'm very active in the community, and so that's where I'm at. I'm on the streets and they see me and they understand me. I'm glad that you're saying that you want an investigation, because I want an investigation as well. So I support the investigation. I think we need to investigate. At the same time, and I mentioned this in pre-council, I want you to understand this as well. I always wanted to be a part of solving problems in our city. I always wanted to be a part of solving solutions. I wanted to bring people together. That's something that I always try to do. I see Naja here, who's doing an amazing job in our community up there, and I work with her on a regular basis. I always try to do that, and even with the ordinance, with working with the Mobile Police Department, I tried to do that. But I was told to stay out of Mobile Police Department business. So that's what I was told because when we did that policy. So now we're being asked, which I agree, but the point when I'm stating is that it goes both ways as well. It goes both ways as well. You can't say when there's a moment and say, okay, now we need to investigate, when we've been saying, let's look at the policy and procedures that's going on in our community and say, now, council, where are you? I was there. Go back and watch the videos. Go watch the city council videos. That's the only thing that I was stating before this situation. Let's get actively engaged and let us be a part of it. It's not the council against the blue. It's like, let's work together. But now we're here because we haven't been working together. And I'm disappointed. And I demand that I can't direct anybody because if you haven't watched the film, you will realize they will remove me from office, and that's a misdemeanor. So again, I want you to go back and go watch the interviews. I was clearly told right there, if I keep doing what I'm doing, that is a misdemeanor and I could be removed from my office. But now I'm asking to do something with the police department, which I agree, we should investigate. The point what I'm saying is we have to do it together, and we can't just make decisions when it look bad at certain moments. We have to move forward together. So I support the investigation. Moving forward. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. Carroll.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, let me thank you all for coming down here today. Never has there been a time of public safety in the city of Mobile where this council has been asked to take on a task that is this tough. In my tenure, I have seen Philip Garrett, Tyrone Williams, I think his name is Haskins, James Barber, Lawrence Batiste, and now Prine. You say, some of you, that a police chief can't be replaced, but in my tenure, we've seen quite a few of them. And all of them have done a great job. Now, before we got here, we had Harold Johnson, who are Harold, great guy. And in between him, I think we had Sam Cochran, again, chiefs in the city of Mobile, all of which have been here now, I said a time period of 25 years. And all of them would do just credit for the service that they've done to the city to help us with our public safety. For the last 2 weeks, 10 days, 14 days, we've gone way down the road. I mean, with the accusations on both sides, between the chief, the administrative responses, we've gone so far down the road that I do not believe there's a reprieve. There is not, if I have to vote, there's not a reprieve at this time, and I believe all of you know it. The damage to the city that this has caused is beyond repair. Right now, you got officers on both sides, and I would speculate taking sides on which side of who do I trust and who do I don't trust, which is a detriment to our police department. We can't allow that to continue. I've made statements to the administration, point blank. You caused this problem, you fix it. Meaning that I did not want to see this council called on to remove an individual or a public servant to the city of this Mobile. One, we are all called to be public servants, So why force a vote? Now, if you knew there was a problem somewhere down the line, then you should have corrected it. Why was it allowed to get this far? So my statement to the administration at that time was, you created it, you fix it. But now it's gotten to the point where they're asking this council to fix this problem. I hope and pray that within a week's time that we come to some resolution where this council isn't called to make a decision on any public safety director or police chief or any public servant. Because the value of service should outweigh any mistakes that should be made, and there should be a level of respect and dignity to a separation or moving forward or to continuing the lifestyle that an individual deserves or they get named. Now, knowing that there have been accusations made by the chief and hearing the things that have been there, then I offered a resolution into the investigation of those accusations. And I did that because the erosion of public trust is now so big that nobody knows who to trust. And in order to find out a way or to make it clear or to have all the facts, then an investigation into the allegations need to be made. And once the facts come out on both sides, then we have a level of transparency that we can all see from an independent investigator. Which means that whatever that independent investigator comes up with outside the premise of both the council and the administration, then that is what we're looking for as truth. That helps us to reestablish the public trust, to reestablish the trust that the community has in both the police department, the council, and the administration. That's where I believe we need to go. That's where I hope this council takes us over the next week and a half, over the next week or 2 weeks. It was never, when this council mentioned an investigation or an inquiry into the police or the situations that happened, which were unintended consequences due to the service to the public and loss of life. It was never about an individual. It was about practices and procedures within the department and what we needed to do to correct those or self-correct. It was never about an officer or an individual within the police department itself. It was brought about because of the loss of life. Any loss of life is paramount, whether or not it was justified or not. We need to know what's causing it. That's why it was caused. It was never caused because of an individual. So that's why. It's when that, hopefully the report gets out in public and soon you read that, then you know there was at no time were we directing or asked to be directed on any individual person or officer within the police department. So, as we move on through these next 2 weeks, and this council works its way through the possibility of an investigation, which I hope we will all say yes to. And as we find out the facts, then I ask you all to listen to what's out there, to hear all the facts. And when you have all the facts, then you make your determination on what needs to happen. Mr. President, I appreciate the time.